keeps you busy. I've got two little girls. Arabella is my eldest. She's 4 and Savannah is 2. They certainly keep me busy, and yeah, days off certainly look a little bit different than they used to 3, 4, 5 years ago. But yeah, it's great fun. It's a nice little trip out today. This isn't the norm. Usually, sometimes it used to be dance class, which is always quite interesting as a dad in the room. But then, yeah, swimming later as well. So it keeps you busy. But yeah, it's great. Like, I personally love it. I think what people don't appreciate at times is the mental roller coaster that comes with sport, or rugby. I can speak on behalf of rugby, but sport in general, I'd imagine. So going home and just being dad, and they don't give a monkeys about what on earth you do or how your day's been. You've got to completely change, and it's an amazing switch off. Yeah, so it's a nice day out today, and yeah, it's enjoyable. I guess I touched on it there. It gives you a different perspective in what's important, and I say, like, you know, you win, you lose, you're injured, or you're either not picked or playing, or whatever that goes on in your week as a rugby player. It can be an emotional roller coaster. So the perspective that it gives you is when you go home, none of that matters, and it's always nice to go back, and usually some open arms, yeah, some fights occasionally, but that's part and parcel. But yeah, I think that's what it does. It does just change your perspective a bit, what's most important, and also makes you realise that, what maybe things at rugby you took really seriously or to heart, you can sometimes get over them a bit better, a little bit more resilient, and yeah, I think it allows me to come in a fresh head every week and be able to give more on the pitch than probably I do if you dwell on things or have time to dwell on them. Yeah, I think naturally, I guess that progression happens, and yeah, I think the demographic of the squad is probably changing, and it's going through that period of guys over the last 3, 4 years I played a lot with and spent a lot of time with have moved on to new pastures or have retired, and suddenly that new crop of youngsters come in, the group changes, and you do start to notice it, but it's also great to see, and I think that progression has to happen in order for the club to keep improving and try and reach the heights that we all want the club to achieve. I think, yeah, I guess it has to be. You have to. I guess you're paid to do a job, so you got to figure out. Even though if I'm feeling a hell of a lot of anxiety during an 80 minutes sitting on the wing, then you just have to get your head around it. I think it's it gives you a different perspective again on the pitch. Now I know what the wingers complain about most of the time. So yeah, it's been good, and I think having the ability to adapt has I guess opened up a new avenue for me. But also, Sean likes to joke about it. Usually as you get older, you don't have to do these things. Usually you're actually moving in the way versus out the way. I'm certainly not getting any quicker, so it definitely has been a back 3 crisis. But I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, wherever I can help the team in whatever position or however I need to fill the spots, and I still just love pulling on the jersey and going out there and having fun. Are you coming to sit with me? We're talking about Daddy's rugby.
Yeah.
Okay. How many games has Daddy played of rugby? How many games? 2! What's the highest number? 2. Okay, 2 games of rugby. Okay. Are you coming to say hello too? We're talking about the rugby, Daddy. How many games of rugby has Daddy played? 2! 2. What's the biggest number you can think of? 3. Okay. What about any more? 2 games. We're only doing 2 games. Okay, you gonna say hello to the camera? No? Are you gonna go back to Mummy? Okay. 2 games that they can remember? Yeah, no, making 150 games, yeah, it'll be a special moment for sure. It's something that I think if you'd probably offered me back in 2014 when I joined the club, or said to me that you'd make 150, I probably would have laughed first of all, and then I'd have bitten your hand off for it. Like, I think it goes really fast, and you never really think about getting to these numbers until suddenly you're like 2 or 3 away, and you're like, oh wow, Jesus, that's passed, and suddenly you feel really old. But it will mean a massive amount. I grew up supporting the club. I've probably said it in numerous videos before, but I grew up loving the club. All I ever wanted to do was wear an Edinburgh shirt when I started playing rugby down in North Berwick, and then at school at the Edinburgh Academy. And so I've done that, and hopefully do it 150 times means a lot. Obviously, if the game comes first, I'll soon enjoy it and properly reflect on it after I've done it. But yeah, to hear, was it 3rd most cap back, that's, yeah, crazy. Some pretty cool names ahead of me, and yeah, I couldn't have ever wished for it probably. So to actually do it and make it a reality is pretty cool.